the plane, they could be going all the way down to Primorsk, to be honest.
Ooh, changing things up just a little bit.
Yeah.
Avangar, they've gone for it. They didn't want to go for Mill to Power. They thought that's just a little bit too far away. We'll take Stalbo once again. But are they going to take the circle with them, Toby? That's the question. We're finding out in just a few seconds.
It's at 1:30.
Ah, really?
Nice
I got so
try,
excited.
You really counted it up, right, for 1 minute, but it's 1:30. Yeah, it's nice try though. I liked it. Good effort. Insidegames.
Big rip.
Insidegames, they're kind of splitting out a little differently than what we see them do normally. Normally we see them do kind of the, it used to be called the night split. I guess technically it still is because they still go there and it's still a thing. But with them and the plane not really allowing for them to go exactly where they wanted, they have to go for vehicles elsewhere. And I guess kinda Avangar, and it's not an Avangar circle per se, but they're inside, at least 2 of the players.
They'll take it.
Oh yeah, obviously. I mean, honestly, this is a good circle for everyone. I feel like Eastern circles are more fair for everyone than Western ones are, just because there are more compounds on the east side than you have on the west. West, you have the big quarry area. Nobody really likes to play inside that. Then you have swamp. Nobody likes to sit down there early game. And east is a little more easy to play around, at least as far as the first circle goes. It's just easier to maneuver through and find yourself somewhere to lay low without having to confront everyone.
And now, if your Northern Lights, right, we saw it before where they kind of rotated from military base a little bit later than what you'd normally have expected them to, and then they got caught off guard by the likes of Gamerlegion and Forze. So this time around, I want to see what they're going to do and how they're going to counter it, because the bridge came a bit of a problem for them.
Yeah, and also I was just looking for Riddle there, because I didn't see them in Mill, so they're looting up in the somewhat western Gatka split on the side over there. Would have been glad with a Mill to plane, but didn't get the plane they wanted, so have to opt to go elsewhere. And I'd like to see it. I'd like to see these guys being able to have a designated spot they want to go to and still keep their wits about them and say there will be situations where we won't be able to go where we want, so we have to constantly be aware of, I mean, even as the games go on, because teams can change up things while you're just going to the spot that you like to go to, right? But they're constantly aware of what's going on around them, and they get to go to Gatka for free. So a nice play by them, and also Futbolist as well. Haven't really found that one spot they like to go to so far, and I mean, it seems like right now at least they've settled for Primorsk.
And we've got Powerful up in North George, but they've also got very close to them Seekorg and Besiktas. And Seekorg, remember, they had the rough ride when it came to Erangel. It wasn't what they wanted. It was never the dream for them. Hopefully this time they will be able to make it out alive.
I mean, 4 of the 8 points they got throughout the entire day yesterday were off of the 4 kills they got on Avangar early, whereas they were killed immediately after. That was all in one game, and that was not the kind of 4 points they wanted to get in a game like that. So, fortunately, I guess you can say, some of the pressure has been alleviated from North George. You only have 2 teams where there was 3 before. Norki ain't even there, he's up by Sarki. So, should a fight erupt, they will have a 4v3 advantage for a little while. And now, looking over at Zoekt Een Naam here, I mean, this is one of the teams that I know they don't dislike Miramar, but they clearly are one of the better Erangel teams in this lobby.
And that's the thing, right, where we do have this change up now. It's, again, these teams who've prepared and got themselves ready for Miramar. Yes, it's a bit of a kick in the teeth at the time, but now you've just got to get on with it. You've got to take what you learned from yesterday and say, all right, we're ready, we're prepared, we're going to make it happen, and we're going to change what happened to us last time around.
Yeah, there's nothing else to it. I mean, you, what is it when they give you lemons, make lemonade? Is that the saying? Yeah, exactly. Just make the best of it. And now they got a plane, they got a circle, and they know where to go. So get on with it.
You gotta deal with it every step of the way. And some of these teams here that we're going to be looking at, Forze, that was a team where Erangel certainly suited them very well. They had a bit of a tough start. Insidegames are going to be shot at from We Need a Home. And Smash, he's currently top of that damage meters at the moment. He's been looking to wreck face all the steps that he could, every step of the way. But this is where I want to see them actually do something as a team. I want to see a good placement overall and placement this long distance. Yes, you can fight and keep teams away from you early on here, but what are you going to do when there's so many teams around you now? You've got a pretty good spot to start off with here, but it is a big cluster. Look what's near them. The Wildcats are there. We've got No Tag. We've got LXG. Zen aren't too far away. IG are coming in as well from the east. It's going to be very hard overall to hold on to what you've got.
And for a team like LXG, we saw them yesterday in one of the first couple of games where they were just full-on form crash the vehicles into buildings.
Yep.
No scouting, no nothing. Just send it in. If there's anyone there, we're going to fight them, and it's going to happen right now. Early on in an Eastern Circle like this, you're going to expect people to not have 4 guys committed to one compound, which means that if you are a team like LXG that will just full-on crazy man push into a compound like that, more often than not, you'll actually have the numbers. We see them on the screen right here now. For now, at least, they are sitting well in it, so they have no reason to go anywhere. But, I mean, when it comes down to it, if you're in a situation early on still where you're splitting 2-2, maybe 2-1-1 to get even more circle control, you have to keep in mind that there are teams like LXG that could potentially come out of nowhere and pull up with 4 guys in your compound.
Well, Hanny's going to be happy with an early supply drop here.
Yeah.
It'll work out well for Riddle, who actually on Miramar, it's not been the greatest of times for them. They got eliminated in 16th place, and they lost a player very early on at the beginning of the first game before it was remade. So we get Erangel here for them, and okay, we haven't seen massive amount from them just yet, but this is their time to bring that up front and say, hey, look, we can make this happen.
Miramar, the forever contenders warm-up map.
Hey, Avangar like warm-ups, right? We said this. Avangar enjoy the warm-ups. It means they play better later on. So if anything, they're going to be sat there saying, it doesn't matter. Go back to doing what we do best.
Besiktas as well. I mean, we praised them for being a Miramar team. Didn't really go that well for them either to get to the games.
Yeah.
So now they get to go back to Erangel and see if they can get something going here. Rotating on the northwestern side, you see them up there by Filu and Seekorg. They'll probably be looking to go somewhere all the way around Yasnaya. I wouldn't expect them to stay up and around here. Sure, shoot the circle, go up northwest towards them. That would be a great spot to be in, but it's a lot to bank on having a position this far on the west side.
Now, this powerful team, we've seen some moments of glory from them, but yet to kind of really put up the big numbers just yet. Time to do it, though, because they were slowly but surely improving when it came to Erangel yesterday.
Oh, yeah. I mean, them and Moonwolf both qualified through EU West. Both very, very talented teams. Moonwolf you'll get to see next week. They play in Group B.
Yes.
And Powerful, the former Isako Bulls lineup, they've been in the game for pretty much as long as I've been casting. And that's, if not from the very start, then something close to it. So these guys are very, very experienced bunch. And, I mean, they'll be looking to frag out. Now they got the warm-up day over yesterday. And then they'll look to get the good things going here.
Now we're following Northern Lights here as they go to cross the bridge, and there's no real contest here for them. They've got Futbolist just ahead of them, but already Forze and Gamerlegion have made their way up. So there is a path, and no one's going to be challenging them on the bridge at least, which is going to be nice for Northern Lights, because they were probably expecting something like that to happen again to them.
Yeah, we'll see. Just about 40 seconds to go until we'll know whether these guys have all been rotating in vain and it hard shifts to one side, or if we are going to get a circle that's just straight bang in the middle, because that's where all these teams are right now. You see them on your map. If this one goes dead center, I mean, I'm going to say 1 or 2 players maybe have to move. Everyone else is going to be inside the circle already.
And that scares me if it goes dead center as well, because that just means, oh, yep, there's literally no room already. No one's really going to move around. And then we're going to see explosions everywhere.
And you can see right now, as you just zoomed in there before, pretty much everyone is sitting somewhat split. They have one guy out on the side, or they have 2 guys in each compound. Should the circle center up, they will have to start prioritizing whether they want to keep their 2-2 split with a chance of getting pulled up on, or go elsewhere for position. And holy Besiktas, I told them, I said, if they're banking on the northwestern hard shift, then that's going to be risk one. But I guess sometimes risk do mean reward, and they get to stay up there. Now the question is going to be, with the river split through the middle, which side do you go on here?
Oh, man, it's this 50-50 split once again. We see it all too often here, Toby, where it's just a guessing game. It's, okay, do we just sit on the bridge? No, probably not the best idea. Do we gamble up north where there's a little bit more space now and give up some of our position down in the south? It's that true, okay, the in-game leader, you need to make a call, you need to make a decision, and we've got to stick to our guns.
I think, honestly, at this point, you can't overcommit. There's no strategy for saying which side it's going to go to. There's no way around that. It's just you having to put yourself in the best position to be able to go to both sides.
Yeah, there's no one going to be sat there crunching the numbers and saying, you know what, we can make this work. But Smash is going to find himself knocked down by the Forze players. Rita knows what's going on. Tries to get the nade off ever so close, but it wasn't meant to be. It means that this isn't going to work out from the rest of We Need a Homer under pressure. Rita can't deliver anything back. Lipson's down there backing her up, but is it going to be enough here? It is a 2v2 position to fight from, but Zolters, He's going to be able to at least hold strong now because he's been avoiding these nades for days.
And you saw right there, Soltis and his teammate in Grishka, they pushed really aggressively to begin with, but then they pulled back when they saw that 2 of the We Need a Home players were taken down. Right now, they're just buying time. They're waiting for those 2 team members to come over and assist them. They're getting the knock up as we speak, and when they get over there, it's going to be 4v2 rather than trying taking an over-aggressive 2v2 fight that could mean them dying into another 2v2 later. So Force playing it very, very smart and very calculated right now. You can see it here. No stupid peaks, no over-aggressiveness. Just wait for those 2 last teammates and get a 4v2 advantage.
You can also see down in the mini screen, IG's under pressure. Gamerlegion starting to roll up on him in this compound. Zampeak's just, he's waiting. He's like, okay, someone's going to come in this corner anytime soon. I need to at least try and get one here. And this is not the start they would have wanted, but for Gamerlegion, this is a good bounce back, considering what happened to them on Miramar.
Oh yeah, get some of those points early, and if you could do it without taking casualty too, that's even better. Soltis does go down. Now you can see Higgy in the offside position. Higgy has full level 3 gear, and I'm kind of surprised that they're not using him as kind of the tank in all of this, because, I mean, even though it's PUBG and a lot of things can happen, that level 3 gear does come to pay off more often than not. So get him in there, and if you're going to storm that building at some point, have him be in that exact spot. Grishka forced away by the Molotov, but rest should be coming in.
I was watching the little mini-map there at the bottom, and they were just barreling out nades, weren't making them connect just yet. Rita, she can't find any space. There's shots coming across the board, and Fosford's been found by Northern Lights. Northern Lights have come into it. He was trying to play it long distance and keep an eye on what was going on, be able to provide the information for his teammates. But then he gets found, and he gets downed and killed. It's not going to work out for them. And now We Need a Home seriously do have a good chance in this.
When you take too much time, when you start tunnel visioning in one compound and you start looking at what's happening around you, that is when these guys will peek you from the side. Rita, have to move. Ain't gonna happen. Hiki is gonna take her down. And now it's all up to Lipson all by himself. That's not happening either. Nades are gonna be the death of We Need a Home as they go out in 16th place. New circle popping in just a short moment.
And we said about We Need a Home of how many teams were around as they started to move out, and it was a very difficult fight for them to take. And okay, we've gone pretty much 50-50 again, maybe 60-40 as it be. Gamerlegion though, Zampeak's been able to do so much damage. The fact he was even able to get a kill is almost unacceptable, Gamerlegion. He was 1 man in there on his own. There were 3 of you there.
That is unfortunate. They were not only able to get the knock, but also got the finish off Cynic. You see him trying to do the damage on towards Hamster as he's desperately trying to get the vehicle rotated on around. Insidegames, they are inside the circle. There are only 2 players alive though, so they have to play it so smart. Are we going to sit here, try to harvest some kills, or are we going to make our way on forward? Because as we can see here, circle, sure, it's benefiting the north, and with this next circle having to exclude water, you would assume it to go up there too. We've just seen so many weird things happen with this river in play. Sometimes it doesn't go where you expect it to.
It never does. It always ends up in a bit of a crazy spot. It gives us some interesting games. We said about it, right?
Indeed.
Now, no tag. They can actually find at least a knock for now onto the Wildcats players here. LXG having a dance around, but it's Northern Lights over there, and he's certainly outnumbered. His teammates coming to back him up, but it's all going to come down to timing here. The deep drop has smoke out, still out in the open though, and he's got to be careful because if he tunnel visions, it's all about the awareness that we talk about oh so often. He's firing off a few shots, they're hiding behind the trees, but the deep is very focused on the flank coming in, and look how up close and personal Fuse has managed to get.
Fuse is pushing in on this 1v3, and this just goes to show the aggressiveness of LXG. It hasn't really been paying off all of the tournaments so far, but I'm not sure why he would push into the compound by himself rather than use the sideline there, because as you can see, Mikhailovic is over there to grant in the color. Fuse, though, 180 spin around and takes out Perfectix immediately.
Couldn't get the finish, going to throw out the nade to get it done. Doesn't want to overextend and find himself picked off in a refrag position. Perfectis, he goes down. Northern Lights, they do need to try and hold on to this, but they are massively under pressure here. Quizzy trying to fire back. Fuse is still up close and personal though. The smoke will fade very soon, but he's just looking to do it as OK Bros found him from afar, and that's a lot of information for OK Bro to have. And Fuse, no matter where he looks, where he turns, there's bullets coming out towards him.
Yeah, he has to find somewhere to lay low, and there's not a whole lot of those spots available here. Spiro already down and out. Sneaky has been knocked as well. They're just 2 guys up and they're nowhere near each other. Fuse down now as well. Mikhailovic, all of a sudden, all that's left. It was looking good for LXG to begin with, but Northern Lights, despite being under a lot of pressure, seem to get things going their way, and now it's going to be ever so hard, if not near impossible, for Mikhailovic to get anything done here.
OK Bro's position was so far away, right? but he was able to do so much, not just in the damage, but in forcing Fuse out into that spot, and also providing the information to his team. So it could have been rough, it could have been a big risk, but it did work out in the end as Maglobovic is trying to hit these shots, he's trying to make it work, but it's not going to happen just yet.
Everybody's fighting on the edges as teams are trying to rotate on through. This was where the majority of teams expected the circle to go. Cynics did as well, but as you can see, with him being under fire from every... Oh, the pan hit, but not going to matter in the end. Maxisol does get it finished out, and this was where we would expect the circle to go. I just couldn't be asked to try and predict it, because we have seen some weird shifts around this area of the map before. So we'll see now. Everyone has to make their way on over. There's still some teams in the south, and as you can see, no tag team in Zoekt Een Naam, they're running over immediately.
This western side is very deep now with teams K23, Powerful, Riddle, and Zen. All close together, where the north, pretty open as of now. We've got Avangar up there and Futbolist fighting off against each other.
And the thing is, with the position up west on the northern side of the water, the only reason they can stick around here is because of all the compounds. Should the next circle go east, all these players, they have been forced to go into the open, and there's just not going to be room for half of them there. Believe me, next circle shift could take us down to 20 players alive.
Oh my. Sometimes you get these crazy circles that give you a rough ride as we can see Barlos here, who can have himself a little bit of a shoot down that work out for him. The Gamerlegion players are all in the water together, and there's no one providing cover fire for him.
Did Gamerlegion miss the bridge, or were they not trying to hit the bridge? I couldn't really tell because we came over to them a little late, but if they...
Oh no. Oh, Bjorn sees him, is like, no, why? No, please.
It's gonna be easy.
Aros has found one for, at least on the Northern Lights. They're up above who were coming into it. The nade goes in, Hamster goes down. It's not going to work out for him. And Seekorg, today at least, in terms of fragging and actually not going out very early on, being able to put up a bit of a fight, it's starting to happen.
Yeah, Vex and Bjorn, they do not have a whole lot of things they can do from here. They had to send the vehicle into the water. I think that was the case. And unfortunately for them, Seekorg were there waiting. And we talked about this so many times before. Once you're in the water, there's nothing you can do. And Gamerlegion, unfortunately for them, out in 14th place they go.
And that was exactly the same position they were eliminated in our Game 1 remake of Miramar.
Yeah, Game 2 remake, right?
Oh yeah, the second remake.
Yeah, exactly. LXG out as well. They were trying to take a fight on with Northern Lights team, but they said, you know what? We won half the games in Erangel yesterday, and we ain't going to be stopped by you guys this time around.
And Gamerlegion did really show up when it came to Erangel. They started to step things up. They were looking a lot better. So I'm hoping to see some more from these guys. We know what they can deliver. It was crazy because at the end of phase 1, they really just started to come into their own. It was like they needed a bit of a space and a bit of understanding of how these games were being played. And then it was like, okay, we've got this. We know what we're doing.
They started out really strong, and then they had kind of a slumber period. And then in the end of things, in the end of things, when it all came down to it, they kind of came back in it. They had a really good, I believe, second to last or last game of the tournament there. But this time around, I mean, we're talking about a team here that almost rated into Pro League for phase 1. In the qualifiers, and here today, at least, and yesterday as well, they've been having a hard time, that's for sure.
Besiktas, though, up on the board. They're going to be going up against Northern Lights. Now, Northern Lights have been fighting non-stop here, but their numbers are certainly going to be dwindling now. Avangar at it once again. Futbolist, they're going to struggle to get away from this. There's a little bit of cover. They're just running down, sending it straight forward. But this is never going to be a good thing you want to do going up against a team like Avangar. As Northern Lights, they go out. The deep just dies out to the play zone. He's having none of it anymore.
Not a whole lot they can do. It's all going to come up to this next circle now, though. Are we going in the open or are we not? Zoekt Een Naam still in it. Riddle, they're sitting dead center. They could use this one, take a little bit of revenge of the second place game they got yesterday, as you can see here on your map. A lot of the teams that are on the north would have to cross on over, Besiktas being one of them, unless if they're banking on a ton of circles coming up towards that gas station. Now, we do have Force. 2 guys in a vehicle pushing on up, and there's not going to be anywhere for them to go. Ultra and Lux take them down and out.
Brilliant work there from Besiktas. They hear it, they see it, and they deal with it. And now they're going straight on to fire up against Avangar, who now will have to try and rotate in while they're still trying to battle with Futbolist. K23 are also trying to make their way in from the west, and they can be gatekeeped for days here.
Nice headshot coming in there from the side, applying some pressure as his teammates are rotating through an octave. Yesterday we saw him be the one to sit behind and look out for the sneaky players as well. And this time around, he's doing everything he can to cover for his teammates while they're rotating forward. But as you can see here, Avangar, they sure might have just finished one fight, but there's plenty more of them to come. The circle is closing in already.
And I just love the non-stop hunger coming out here from Avangar. over and over again. It doesn't matter where it's happening. They're looking to engage. Now, Mockingjay is able to reply a little bit, but Besiktas there actually got involved as well. So this is what they do need to be careful. You've been firing for so long, that awareness does start to drop. You don't want to tunnel vision too much. It's not something you really say about Avangar all that often. And now they're heavily under pressure, and they are losing members. Avangar goes straight down. They can't find the cover they need. Futbolist, with a little bit of help of Besiktas, managed to take them down.
There were just way too many eyes looking in their direction as they came crossing over there in the end. So smart play by Besiktas not to overcommit to the push across the street initially. Wait for the teams behind them to have to pull on up. They knew they had the compound for a little while longer inside the circle, and they made the most of it. So good job by them, getting themselves a few kill points off of that and the placement as well. But we're not in those placements points just yet. No tag team though, and Seekorg squaring up against one another. And once again, we saw it in Miramar just before all these nades came to help no tag, and this time around they do as well. Barlas down, and Sunsi is the last player remaining.
Oh, Barlos, he just wants to try and stay up. Sunday does not have much health to work if he can't help his teammate out at all. More nades pinned and ready as well.
Bada bing.
Wow.
Bada boom.
On point. Aros, beautifully done. He knew exactly where they were. They couldn't run away. It was just too far. And they're like, oh, the dead body's on the floor. Let's throw some more nades. You know, never
we
mind.
got plenty. We got nades for days, as does everyone in the current meta. And
just outside the points for Seekorg again.
yeah, they did get a couple of kills with them, but of course not at all the kind of game they wanted to get. Now let's see here. Riddle, they've been sitting dead center for a while now, not having to fight off anyone. As we can see, Zoekt Een Naam, though, they have a complete Pincer down on K23, and just one player remaining, I believe, is Greg. Low HP already, and I do not think that Zoekt Een Naam is going to allow for him to leave, because they just got the circle gifted once more.
And that's the thing, we said about it a few minutes ago, that K23 trying to push into this circle, you had multiple teams over there towards the west. No matter where you looked, where you turned, you'd be fighting one of them at least. They try to jump in, get some cover behind the compound, but it's not going to work out. Zen were there, hungry and ready. As powerful are now going to be up against Besiktas, and with so many places they can't find cover, they can't find a spot to hide. The smokes are becoming so useful, but you can still just spray through the smokes, tap away, and that's where you have to be just on a little bit of an edge of luck.
Besiktas crossing over without vehicles is a bit of a surprise to me. I'm not sure if they were destroyed or if the vehicles had their tires popped, but they had vehicles behind the gas station for a while there. Could potentially try to cross around with them. Of course, it's a scary play, but now it leaves them out in the open. Tummel and Ultra might have been able to get all the way around. We'll have to see. One player was knocked early, but seems like he's back up on his feet, though.
Now, this is what Zen's gone back to doing. Looking for opponents, taking control of the circle early on here in phase 6. They're saying, all right, we've got the west now covered. Let's go have a look down south. Tomil still wanting to fire back here as well. But T-Bone, he can see everything that's going on, gets all the information to play with. He's already shot up against the Wildcats. And now he's got no tag down there as well.
Look at the guys from Powerful. They know that the pressure is going to be coming in eventually. Mockingjay, solo player remaining from Futbolist as well, could apply some pressure from the backside. Maybe get that third-party peak advantage on his side there. But Besiktas, all of the guys are alive. 5 kills so far, and they're looking to get more against the guys from Powerful.
And now this is where Simsy does what he does best, right? When it comes into those odds, they're stacked against him. Likes to push in and try and make the magic happen there.
I like what they do here. I was just going to say, blow off those doors, and that next nade will indeed fly inside the building. With 4 guys inside a 1-story building, more often than not, that one nade is going to get at least one knock, at least some damage done towards them, because they have all the doors covered so far. As well, Crocs will get spotted out on the side. Simsy trying to do the damage needed. Won't be able to hit the shots because of the wooden bars there, but now Zoekt Een Naam is starting to engage on it too.
And this is it. Besiktas now overextend the fight off Powerful. They've got the risk being taken down by Zen. And Zen are just there, happy and ready to take the fights no matter. They were fighting down at the south. Now they've gone into a 2-2 split, and it's just the amount of ground they've been able to cover here.
See, Sims, he wants to get up there, he wants to do the damage, but there's just that one door. And as hard as it is to push on through, as hard is it for the guys to defend on the other side. I mean, all they have to do technically is just sit and look at that one door and start shooting at it like crazy people. But as you can see here, Sims is doing everything he can to find an angle. And as you can see with the new circle popping, none of these guys are going to be inside it, and it's going to be closing in just about 30 seconds.
And Mockingjay is saying, can I please get a break? The final player for Futbolist is like, are we serious? Am I just going to have to walk ever so slowly now further down south to try and get in this circle?
Well, I mean, he's made it so far. He's made it. He made it up until this point. Nate's coming in once more. Broxel, are you alive after this one? Yes, he is. I'm not sure that Besiktas have any utility left. I mean, they used all their smokes to cross the road. Now they used all their nades trying to destroy the guys inside. But somehow, knowing how good Besiktas are with nades usually, somehow Powerful are all still alive with almost full HP. It's actually a bit of a surprise. And Tomil now under a lot of pressure.
And this is my main concern, like you were just saying there, if this utility is being overused, it's going to be rough for them to fight off of. Now, most of the Besiktas have started to push around and got themselves in the circle. They've gone round and covered, know that Power are going to have to move. Now, Tomil, he is in a bit of a rough spot, but he can still move around. He can still get himself out of this. And Powerful will have to move into Besiktas' arms, basically. They're literally planning him to say, come to us now, we're going to play this well. Finally, Greg goes down. He's going to let himself go out to the zone. K23 eliminated in 8th place.
Tomil is holding this door as best as he can. No references in that sentence right there. But they're doing everything he can to make sure they ain't going to be leaving on this side of the building. Riddle could push out and do damage, but they're too focused on sitting inside the compound they have available. Lux was taken down just before Morpheus landing some good shots, but Broxel went down in return too, and now Powerful are indeed running out, but damage is being applied immediately. Riddle, they're coming up from behind.
The third party is in full effect, and Riddle, they smell the blood, they know what's going on, and they're helping out Powerful massively here. Besiktas, only Tomil and Simsy, who is just sat there bleeding out slowly. Lux is there as well. This is going to be so rough for them. Tomil's just using the bush for cover, hoping that Riddle may help him get rid of some of the Powerful players.
One bush for cover, it's all that he has, but now he has to start shooting. He's inside with the blue as well. Gets down the first one. Simpson is still in speed, has the rock for cover too, and that's going to be Besiktas out in 6th place. Somehow Powerful still managed to stay put with 3 guys up. Riddle came in to help when they needed them there, and now there's still much more damage to be done because Zoekt Een Naam still alive and kicking on this side of this hill. Ooh, Hanny, bro, what a nade!
2 days in a row, Hanny and those nades have delivered once again. Powerful, not what they would have wanted. They got stuck in that compound. Besiktas pressured them for so long, and then Riddle come in and they go on the cleanup duty. 4 kills already, and they're looking for more. Zinzan's pushing forward. Gonna go in. T-Bone's ready and waiting in the back lines, but didn't pay attention to it. There were still players up, and Riddle get eliminated. That's beautiful. Powerful in a position they should have never really won. They didn't have the numbers there, and he's still able to hold on.
When you have 7 or 8 bullets left in your weapon, and you're focusing them on a guy that's already knocked, when you know there's a player just around the corner, that is not how you want to spend that ammo. That's a bit of a blunder there, but still a top 5 placement for Riddle nonetheless. We'll see now Powerful whether they can make something of the second time around that they get kind of saved by the PEL.
Yeah.
And now this for Zoekt Een Naam on the top here. Ivel, T-Bone still alive and kicking. Look at the wide 2-2 split they've got going. 4 guys alive still in this matchup, and Zoekt Een Naam's looking to take this one home.
And this is where, at least for Zen, they start to thrive a little bit more, because so many teams have been picked off and they're down, and they've spent a lot of utility fighting this, while Zen, they've been chilling a little bit, but always shooting, always pushing teams away, and they've got the distance to play off here. Yes, they're on a 2-2 split, but if Ivel and T-Bone can deal with Power, then they can all group back up together and take this fight against No Tag.
Oh, Ivel gets spotted out by Ghostar there. The grass didn't come to benefit him at all. T-Bone pro'd on out, trying to see if he can get them to go elsewhere. He does indeed. Page and Vask are trying to come up to help, but it's going to be too little too late. No need for the help, at least not right now. But as for Powerful, going in the other direction, they're going to be running straight into a 4-man stack and no tag team.
Ghostar, he just spotted out Aros. Jupesig's about to work his way up. Damage being done straight away. Ghostar, he's going to get taken down. They try to eliminate a little bit more. They try to get a kill on the board, but it doesn't happen. And now we're going to see a 3 versus 4. It's in favor of No Tag Team, but Zen, what can they do in this position?
I was going to say, they saw the knocks immediately. They know now it's a 4v4. Make that a 4v3, and they just didn't push early enough. I mean, none of them were knocked, and they had a chance to engage immediately. Didn't see it happen. Sure, it is a bit of a distance to cover, but they could have gone down, maybe got within nade range, had they had any left, and see if they can done something. T-Bone did push up further, but now he's prone once more. He's one with the bush, and he's trying to well, at least get some sort of pressure, sort of info for his teammate. Vask spotted out. Holy cow, Jupesig and O'Connell completely melting him down.
Brilliant work there from Jupesig. Spots him out and will not miss the shot. spray and pray, and that praying worked out massively for him. McConnell's starting to work his way up, wants to go in for the finish off. T-Bone is close though, but will he understand what is going on? That circle damage is too high and they don't want to risk it at all. Vascu, he's eliminated. T-Bone hiding in that bush. Will they spot him out? O'Connell sees him. The spray comes in. T-Bone tries to fire onto it. It's not going to work. Winner, winner, chicken dinner, and it's going all the way for no tag team.
Really, really, really good performance at that too. 11 kills. They weren't a team that we were looking a whole lot at throughout the finishing of this game, but they played that southern side to perfection. They cleared the whole thing all by themselves. They had multiple teams on their side. Zoekt Een Naam was down there at one point, but they pushed up, and no tag team allowed them to push further up towards that compound. They ended up holding out K23 and all this stuff happened up there. In the meantime, they just took their time, played around the south side, cleared out the few